Welcome back along to Dumfries High School for the final of the Champions Curling Tour here live from Dumfries. Joining me this afternoon again, David McMeekin.
Afternoon, David.
We'll go through the teams in a bit more detail, probably between the first and second ends, but as you can see on the screen, the Hess rink from Switzerland and Mount rink from Scotland are the two teams in the final. Hess playing the Blue Stones, and they have Last Stone as well. There's one more game on the ice just now, and that is the fourth game. That's actually half an hour into that game. They started a wee bit earlier. Teams with flights to catch. So we'll keep you abreast of that one as we go along. The main focus very much on the final here. Who's your money on for this one?
Well, we picked Bruce's team at the start as really the hot team coming into this competition, David, and here we are in the final, and they're here, and you've really got to fancy them, haven't you? They were on the ropes really there in the semi-final, but they pulled a great win out, 6-2 behind, to come through and win that out. So hopefully they can get together and put a bit of pressure on the boys at the start of the game here. I really fancy them to come out on top.
Yeah, I think so. It would seem a bit daft to change now, wouldn't it? We've got our predictions made the final, so we may as well stay there. Yeah, they really did dig their semi-final out in fairly impressive fashion. I was down on the ice just after that game finished, and their opposition was fairly disappointed, it would be fair to say. I think they very much thought they'd let that game slip.
Yeah, it's annoying if you're 6-2 up, David, is it? And you can't close the game out. You really should be able to get to that standard, but that's sport, David, isn't it? Nothing's for certain, so that's what makes it interesting. The same can be said here. This is not going to be a one-way traffic. This Hess team are here to win as well, aren't they? So
yeah, I think so. I think that's a fair comment, and I think they're there'll be no gimmies in this one.
Yes, this is Bruce's first stone here now getting played. So Hess does have that corner guard up, but doesn't look like they're going to be able to use it in this end. So see if Bruce can hit this blue, and probably wants to check over a wee bit, does he, and try and get a little bit of separation if he can, but really needs the shooter to stick in the house here.
Yeah, I would definitely be looking for the shooter to hang about. Good throw.
Yeah, couldn't have done much better than that, really, could he? As much separation as possible with still being in the house. So forces really Hess hit this and try and roll in behind the yellow. Even if he shows him half, he won't be too disappointed. Really, at this stage of the end, Hess is just trying to get out with the blank end, isn't he?
Yeah, exactly that. They were looking just to tidy this up, so hit and roll in behind and try and force Mout to play the run back, I think would be the plan here.
So the Hess semi-final was slightly different to the other one, wasn't it, David? They were up early on and then started getting clawed back by their opposition, but they did manage to hold on for that win. So
yeah, I think the scoreline was maybe slightly flattering to their opposition again. They were kind of playing run backs on the off chance that they took a 3 to win the game in that end, and quite happy to lose a 1. So I think the scoreline was probably a bit tighter than was maybe the actual case in the game. But you still have to finish these games off.
And we did talk about the quarter-final last night, didn't we, against the local rink Fraser here when he played the Hess rink, and it was actually a pick-up on the last stone, so the Hess rink could consider themselves somewhat lucky to be here.
It's a nose hit for Bruce.
Yeah, so no chance of the blank here now for Hess, is there, David? He's just looking to hit this on the inside and get his one, so...
Yeah, just exactly that. I'm not quite sure if that's coming across at home, that noise, which I suspect it is in the ice hall. So let me just go and find out what's actually going on there. Make sure, I don't think we're the cause of it. I'm pretty sure we're not.
Yeah, so that's really mission accomplished for the Mount team in the first end there. They've forced Hess and got the hammer. Let's see what they can do with it now.
Mystery solved, and somebody trying to do something with the hockey rink side of the building, so hopefully that's the end of the interference, but I'm not. So the Mount rink straight into this for corner guards. I think it's fair to say that problem hasn't gone away.
Well, just comes a wee bit too deep there, David, with that guard, doesn't he? Gives the Hesrink a chance here to make the double and probably roll the shooter in the house as well.
Yeah, and just roll it in line there. Pretty nice shot. Is there a triple back here?
Certainly get two of them moving. Do all three move? I think you probably can. It's just about a nose hit, does it, David? I think.
It's close. Just the one. Oh, I think we touched it. Oh, we've got a bit of controversy now.
Yeah, do we have a burnt rock there, David? Just what?
Yeah,
You know
I think Grant probably burnt that one. I'm not sure if it was. I think it was after contact.
Yeah, it must have been after contact, or they surely would have removed that stone. So
Yeah, you would think so.
I think the shooter obviously just caught his foot when it was after the contact, so they weren't just sure. Really up to the skips to decide, isn't it, and put that stone back where they think it would have finished. A lot of etiquette in curling as well, David, isn't there? You have to trust yourselves and your opposition, so you normally declare these mistakes and work it out between yourselves.
You didn't see the Olympic playoff games then? Was it Denmark-Italy, the ladies' game?
Oh, is that when there's a wee deflection off the foot just to straighten the rock up a bit?
Yeah, and a couple of deflections, a couple of burnt stones, and yeah, the whole thing. An incredible shot to kind of win it as well. But
but it's hard to figure out if it was deliberate or not, if it's the same shot that I'm thinking of, because it's so hard. It just needed a fine touch to redirect it. It's
just a
hard to do that
fraction.
deliberately without.
I think that's a different one, but I know the one you're talking about, and yeah, that was just a tiny little rub, wasn't it?
Aye, there is tricks you can try as well.
Bit of sand in the pocket. Grant Hardy's first stone of the end. Just takes the guard. And the Hess rink now have a great chance to set up a steal. I think it's over the line.
A wee bit close for comfort there, David, but it's doing its job there, isn't it? It's just got over, though it's quite long, so I have seen you maybe could get round, but yeah, indicating they're going to try and run that back in.
Yeah, I think Grant's got the power in this to run it back and move his shooter out the way. I don't think he'll manage to roll it all the way out, but
just gets it a wee bit on the inside, and it's just went across the top of them ones, so give the Hesrink a chance to replace this. So I did say earlier, David, that Kyle Smith was playing in Japan now, and I said they were in the final, but I'm checking my phone at the interval there. I think I actually got that wrong, so I think they got defeated in the semi-final by the Japanese rank, or by Kim maybe, and then they went on to win the 3-4 game. So they ended up with third place there in Japan. It was maybe Kim of Korea that beat him.
To be fair, I looked at that this morning and thought he'd made the final as well. So somebody maybe put the scores in wrong. You can blame that anyway. I want to drag this a little bit further to cover the yellow. That's pretty good. Almost perfect, I would say. We seem to have our sound problem sorted out. Trying a big double raise here. Let's see what they can clear out the way. What a brick. What a shot that is.
They managed to sweep that blue right out, David, so
there's no applause from the gallery. That's fairly poor show from up here, I would say. Great shot. Does give the Hess rink a chance to get back round the guard. Well, a lot better position than they were in 20 seconds ago.
Yeah, if they can get this round, David, top of the 4 foot, fully buried, then potentially still looking at a force here for them.
This is just hanging high at the moment.
Yeah, it's got a curl to get buried, but they do finish at the end. We have seen that.
It's got a nice weight about it, so
yeah, probably want to brush it right back just to get it hidden as much as possible. So there you see it. Shows him a little bit, but not a whole lot. Now tough. Makes Bruce have to make the decision whether he wants to chase after that for the blank. But I think going by that ice, David, they've accepted they're going to have to take their one here.
yeah, take the medicine. Fairly happy with it.
Yeah, they're just guiding this one down at the 4 foot, aren't they?
They haven't left this too late, have they?
Well, it was a pretty relaxed sweeping effort, but it was there, so it was under control.
So relaxed, all the jackets are coming off at the end of it. So we said we'd go through the teams. David, do you want to take us through them for?
Tell you what, how about I do the Scottish team, David, and you do this team?
Rito Schoenberger, Simon Gluer, Simon Hohen and Jan Hess. And the Swiss team, Team Hess. I'll let you take the easy one. With pictures as well to help you.
Yeah, there we go. So the team, a wee bit older, these boys, obviously. It's quite a young team, that Hess team, isn't it?
It was, yeah.
When you put it up there, they're all really 20 years old, so there's got a lot of potential, obviously, in that team. I'm sure we'll see a lot more of them in the future, but Bruce Mowat team doesn't really need a lot of introduction around these parts. Been very successful this year, we've talked about it. Just can't seem to lose in Canada when they go there. They've won a national championship and they've won 2 of the World Curling Tours back to back at the start of the year, so
I've had an incredible year.
they've had a great season, so there's a new lineup. Obviously they changed it for this year and it really seems to be working for them. Bruce himself was a silver medalist in the Scottish Championship last year. I think Bobby Lammy was the only one that was playing in that rink, so we've had a reshuffle bringing Grant in and Grant and his cousin, so certainly working, and they'll be hoping to continue that success here today.
Yeah, doing well so far. 5-2 record so far this weekend.
Yeah, we were surprised to see them drop them 2 games in the group stages, to be honest, but they've got over that and put that behind them, so we'll not talk about the losses.
Average score of 10-6 so far. Team Hess. 5-2 record as well, but generally tighter games so far. And to be honest, Graham Sloan has spent most of lunchtime telling me he's the only team to beat them so far this weekend, but that graphic would suggest otherwise. Graham did have a good win against them in the last group game there. Already through and coasting, I would suggest. So into the third end.
Grant Hardy, of course, already a world champion this year, isn't he? David won the world mixed with Billy Morton, Barbara McFarlane, Rhiann McLeod.
That's the one, well remembered.
Almost starting to wish that I hadn't started that statement, but so first world champion out of Dumfries, first of many, I'm sure.
It's been a pretty good season for Dumfries curlers so far.
Oh, definitely.
Fraser Kingan winning the Scottish mixed doubles. Carrying on from the success last year, Sophie Jackson winning the Scottish and then going to the Worlds.
Yeah, somewhat of a surprise package, wasn't he, Fraser Kingan, in the mixed doubles competition this year? Took the Scottish by surprise, so they'll go on to represent Scotland now in the mixed doubles.
Yeah, it's quite an interesting one because I mean all the top guys were there and a lot of the performance guys were, how do you put it, encouraged to be there as well, so very good lineups. And now Fraser did well to come through that, so give us another Scottish Championship to the Ice Bowl's name. Probably the 2 favourites for the juniors this year in Ross White and Sophie Jackson. So
yeah, that's right. I think Fraser's doing slightly less curling this year with university, but like you say, he's playing in the juniors this year. So.
the next generations are very much coming through now as well. A lot of success at under 17s and under 14 levels. So.
Yeah, that's right, and we've seen some of them perform over this weekend as well, didn't we?
Yeah,
Carson boys were here, and so was Hamish Gallagher and his rank. Some great games along the way.
Yeah, certainly a testament to the junior programme here, which is, I think they're over 100 in numbers, which will be the biggest junior club in Scotland, I suspect. So, certainly the most, the one that's improving in with its numbers year on year. So, future's bright.
Yeah, it doesn't just happen by chance either, does it, David? Graham Sloan puts a lot of hard work in, and not only that, a lot of volunteers here who put in a lot of their own time. You're one of them, and that's paying dividends for the ice rink, so it is.
I think a lot of coaches, a lot of volunteer coaches as well, and yeah, it's quite something. Most nights you come in here and the place is absolutely mobbed with kids training. So
here we go, they're chipping that yellow, but they're going to roll out themselves. So just give Bruce a chance to come around that again.
Yeah, Similar pattern to the first couple of ends.
Could of course peel the corner guard, which some might have done, which is quite a defensive move, but if he does that, it just gives the Hess chance to come round this guard, so he's decided to get one round there himself to stop them doing it.
Yeah, I quite like that call, to be fair. Just puts some pressure on.
Yeah, exactly. You've got to take the game to them, don't you? You've got to try and win it.
You've got to not hit this blue guard, though.
You might get an edge off it and just get it in behind it. Well, he's pretty lucky there, so because it was never getting hidden if it got by that, David. So it just came out the other side, though. So
I think they would take that. From the moment it went across the hog line, they would have taken the end result. And you see the score on sheet B on the screen now. So 3-1 to the Schneider Rink after 4 ends. As I said before, just a wee bit ahead of this game. I think it's actually Schneider Rink that has a plane to catch. So that game went on half an hour ahead of us.
Well, jams the run back there, David, leaves that one in the forefoot.
Got to consider that fairly unlucky.
So what do you do now, David? Do you guard the shot you've got, or do you put a second one in?
The problem is trying to get the second one in is always going to leave some kind of double. If you consider splitting your yellow, splitting that one to the wing and then rolling into the centre, but he's going with the guard. Keep this moving, and have done.
Yeah, I think they've just done enough there. It just curled a bit at the finish. So Hess looking to get the double peel here. Really, he's just trying to bail out this end now at this stage. So he's hoping to drive that yellow across and lift the blue guard that's nearest to centre as well. Just try and open things up a bit.
Yeah, he's not got a lot of options for last stone at the moment. As you say, look to open it up.
To be high here and stuff it, and that's what he's done.
So logically it's the same again, maybe a wee touch shorter this time.
Don't know, I think they'll be probably looking to put it in the same place, David, and just force them to make that run back. Don't want to leave the guard too long and give them room to come round.
No, true. Even level wouldn't be too bad actually, would it?
So it's on its way. Supers look reasonably happy with it. There you have it. It is possible to play two stones the same one after the other.
Hardest shot in curling, same again, surely.
So again, he would probably like to get both these yellows moving if he can, but I don't think the way they're sitting now it's possible, is it?
No, I don't think so.
I think he's maybe looking to try and squirt through the hole if he could hit that hole hard enough. I think you could hit the one on the right and come off the bottom one on the left and squirt the shooter into the house.
Yeah, I think so. I'm not sure the hole's big enough, but I think we're about to find out. You only just want to catch the right one as well, basically as thin as they possibly can.
Yeah, just redirect off that. Just caught the wrong one first there.
Well, given it came through the house, even hitting that one first, dare say that was on.
Yeah, it's cleared things up a wee bit for them, but again, we'll probably just see that guard replaced. Could of course come round the guard here as well, David, if they wanted, and that would pretty much ensure that they were forcing Hess as well, but with flinging the guard on, there is a chance they could steal here.
Yeah, I think they like the steal now, don't they?
They know the line for this shot, they've just played it twice, so they know where to put the brush.
It's always a good sign when your skip's playing a guard with their shots.
Yes, we mentioned the prize money in the semi-final, David. You said you're going to research it for the final. Do we have an answer here?
I'm sure we can find one, yeah. I may have prioritised lunch over finding out.
There Hess makes the run back, clears the yellow off the forefoot in the guard. I think we've had a touchstone again just by the sweeper. The stones were going that fast, they just couldn't quite get out the road, so it's a great shot there, but it does still leave a guard out front. Does however really ensure the Hess rink are going to score this end. It opens the forefoot up. Now it just comes round here fully buried, and then that's going to force Hess to have to draw for his single.
The good news is I've done my research on prize money and nobody seems to know what it is. Some very vague answers flying about, so we'll just...
It's definitely more than the bus fare home anyway, but it's all about pride anyway, it's not about the money for these boys.
I think what I am reasonably confident with is that quarter-finalists onwards got their entry fee back.
Yeah. Well, a lot of them I think then went on to spend it in the bar last night, certainly
That's the aim
the
of having the
losers.
quarters. That's the aim of having the quarters on the Saturday night.
It helps you get over your disappointment of getting eliminated when you get your entry fee back in cash.
It's the way to do it. So as we wait for this stone to come down, turns out the very vague woolly answer we got was actually the correct one. So we're actually playing £6,000 game here. So the winners take 4, the losers take 2, 1,200 for third place, 800 for fourth, and that is all over the guard from an early stage.
Yeah, surprising to see them chase that stone, David. I thought they might just have drawn for their single, but they obviously felt they could see enough of that to blank the end. It was a high risk shot really, and it hasn't paid off for them.
As you say, the risk reward there, but
was a good end by Moet though. They played a lot of good guards there in a row, and they've came out with something on top, something to show for their efforts.
So on we go into the fourth end.
And the Christ team have got their 2 in the fifth end, David, so that takes that game on sheet B to 3 each after 5 ends.
Bad news for the airport run. I think they were looking for a quick conclusion to that game. The Craigs rink will be still a little bit sore from a semi-final, I would imagine. I always hated playing 3-4 games.
Yeah, I know, it's always hard to pick yourself up for them, David, isn't it? You're disappointed, obviously, to get put out in the semi-final, and then you've got to try and refocus and come out and win. But there's not only money at stake, there's also ranking points as well, so that's really why you have to play this game to get a winner of the 3-4.
Yeah, across the season it might just make the difference. So Bruce Mount quite happy to drift these stones into the house now. Putting the onus on the Hess rink to create the play, which they duly do. Put on a corner guard, which I would expect Bruce to put on a centre guard now. Perfect position. Double corner guards.
Yes, this is interesting. We didn't really see this tactic in the semi-final, did we? But it's quite an aggressive call, putting the second corner guard on. Obviously feel they want to go hard and chase after their 2. Could also have came round that last stone and froze on the corner, the one on the top of the 4-foot.
I have to admit that's probably more like where I would have gone.
In fact, they're not going double corners, David. They're coming round the first corner.
That's slightly less aggressive.
Probably would have preferred that a bit deeper in the house, David. There's not much separation between the 2, and it's not fully buried either. So.
I think we'll see Mount peel off the corner, though. I think is what he's looking to do. Roll across to the middle.
Well, I think he could be chasing after the one in the house, but he's just caught the guard there. Could have ended up worse. Has it? Has moved the corner off, so you can see that play for the next time, and it's one and another one in the house for him.
So just looking to move the centre guard now and just roll across and become a corner guard. Maybe slightly defensive, but doesn't look a great deal on this end at the moment for the Hess rink. If that stops, it might be, but it hasn't.
Hasn't stopped, but it's left a stagger guard there, so let's see if they get a chance later on to try and get someone in behind that. In fact, that's quite an aggressive call here, isn't it? Bruce is calling just to get the centre guard replaced.
And they want this one to put the brakes on.
Yeah, it has just stopped in time. He didn't want to come in the house and leave him a double and set the shooter in the house, but I don't think he can make the double and roll in here. I don't want to do it any deeper anyway.
What he could do though is make the triple, leave his shooter relatively close to the house and give it an option for a split later on.
Yep. Yeah, it's definitely just too deep, that guard, but shot's still got to be made. They're sitting three in the house here. Sweeper seems relatively happy. They're on and off it, so they must like it. They made the double and roll to that side.
That's pretty nice.
Yeah,
depends if that blue squeezes.
yeah, I think it must just be a small gap the way Bruce just never really looked at it for that long, so probably make the double here and roll the shooter in the house and still sit two. Well, just got that a bit thin, David, and rolled out, and there you see Hess straight out going right round that staggered corner guard. I did mention how the stagger was on them earlier. It leaves a bigger area to draw around, doesn't it? Yeah,
really need to keep that second shooter in there to stop that. And yep, you've been absolutely right. They're just going to go straight in round that.
They probably can't be buried behind the guards and Lee's shot, David, but they won't be worried about that now. As long as they can get one in the house behind them guards. We'll worry about moving that yellow later on in the end.
It's a pretty good effort. Maybe a fraction deep, but
yeah, could just have done to finish a wee bit harder at the end as well, David. Bruce Mount thinks he can get round to that just at a barrier weight and chip it out and roll over. You really could do it to try and stick the shooter here, couldn't they, David, just to try and stop Hess doing the same again?
Yeah, exactly. Slightly surprised they're... because of course there'll be back tee, which maybe gives them a chance to just swing round on top of it.
Yeah, they could, but I don't think they'll want to get in that game, David, because then Hess just comes back and follows you down there, and before you know it, you're in a bit of a mess.
That's a good shot.
Probably looks to roll into open here, but he's got to the nose, and that just leaves the freeze. I think he would have preferred to got that half stone and roll over to the centre. He's not really wanting to play around these corner guards, but he'd done the main objective, which was get rid of that blue.
But it just, as you say, leaves this freeze straight back again.
Yeah, it just gives him back in there. If he'd rolled over to the centre, I feel Hess would have to go after the yellows and give up on this draw around the corner guards, but just with that stone over curling, could just persevere with this tactic for one more stone. Let's see if they can make this here. We've just been down here, so they should know the ice. The sweepers are working this hard. They're going to drag it far enough.
If it's got the weight, it's good.
Looks pretty good. I think it's just came up short.
I would favour yellow, but
yeah, they're having a look and they...
Come on, boys, give us a clue.
He had back in there. It's a wee bit disappointing to come up short, isn't it? But
Grant, of course, will know these circles well. Home ice advantage. Home sheet advantage, actually.
Yep, sponsored there by his dad, David Hardy Engineering. Team sponsor as well, obviously. Not a bad curler himself.
He has his moments.
So they're going after this blue, David, so I kind of feel it must be shot, or if it's not shot, it's too close to call, so they can feel they can move it anyway, so that'll take any debate out of it.
Yeah, just get rid of it. Fair to say they're going for a force of a 1 now.
Yeah.
Straight onto this.
No, they look quite relaxed now, David, the sweepers. They're just keeping it clean. They're sweeping it for the curl now. Are they going to curl enough? Got a piece of it, yeah, they've done a good shot there. Just does enough to get it out. So will we see him play the freeze again? Yep.
I think he's the only option for 2. I don't think he's getting out of this end with a blank now anyway, so.
No, you're right there, David. So, like you say, just needs to come down again onto the face of the yellow. Really needs to lie shot here though after this stone, doesn't he? Or give Bruce the chance just to split the house and lay 2. Or indeed freeze on top of you.
Yeah, it's just an extra foot of running really on his previous effort.
So it's on its way, and the sweepers have jumped it again, as if he's struggling for weight.
It's barely halfway, is it?
No, they're working it hard now, but they're struggling to even get it in the house. No, they're dragging it a fair distance here. I don't think they're going to be shot though. Yeah, in fact, I think Bruce will lie too. He will. I think he just ignored that stone now. Yeah.
Doesn't want to leave him the hit. Yeah, so just looking kind of top 8.
They've discussed various options. They obviously don't want to leave the triple, so I think they have decided, like you say, top 8 just off the centre line. Force has to make the draw for his single.
Pretty much perfect, I would say.
Yeah, if anything, it over curls a wee bit, so you could probably use that back one for backing if you wanted.
It seems the obvious shot, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Tried for the 4 foot, and as you say, you've got the left hand side yellows backing at the back of the 8 foot if needed. Although given the way the ice swings, you probably have to commit to one or the other.
Yeah, that's the thing. You get when you play to use the back, and you end up getting caught in the no man's land, don't you? You play either one shot or the other, so you really have to decide what shot you're playing and just put the brush down and play it. So let's see if he can make the correction from his last one. He came up short. Different side of the ice now as well, so Speeds will be slightly different here. Well, I'd suggest looking out the window that he could probably do with that backing, David.
He's not shy of weight, is he? The way this is swinging, there could be a gap.
It's going down now.
There is a gap,
good.
but it's nowhere near that weight, so...
Yeah, it's a good draw there.
So 4 ends down, halfway through the final. And essentially Bruce Mount has turned the hammer around. So we're all square. We'll just cut across to the 3-4 game. Snyder against Kraus. 3-all at the moment. The Yellows do have last stone here though. And indeed this is last stone. So well played stone here would put them well in charge of the 3-4 game. And they'll be hugely disappointed with that chance to almost wrap the game up. In the end, it's a steal of 1. So we'll keep an eye on that game. After 6 ends, Kraus winning 4-3. Back to our featured game. As you can see, the Mount rank one right on the button. yellow just slipping off the side of the blue there. So as you could probably hear from the brush banging, not what was required.
Yeah, umpire this afternoon's Kenny Murray, isn't it? So I'm sure he won't tolerate too much brush slamming down there.
He'll be wagging a finger. And all of a sudden this is looking quite messy.
Yeah, been away, David, so obviously Hess must have thrown up their centre guard and Bruce Mount came round it with his first stone, obviously.
Yeah, Bruce came round and then the Hess rink played a really good freeze. And Bruce tried to do the same and, as I say, just slid off the side of it. And this is where we are now.
And there we go.
Well, that tidied it up. That's a great shot.
Tidied things up a wee bit. Let's still leave the single stone in at the back.
It was a poor effort then. Just incredible power behind that. This end descending into something less interesting than it might have been.
Yeah, but that one good shot has left the potential there for Bruce to get his two now. If he can just keep exchanging places with this blue here, look good for scoring their deuce. Didn't want to roll in too far there, that's why they were sweeping it, wasn't it, David? Just to try and keep the separation between these two stones.
Yeah, make sure there wasn't a double.
Yeah, exactly, so job done, and probably the Hess rink just want to hit this and try and flop in behind the guard in front of that yellow stone. Try and take it out of play really for the end.
Yeah, exactly. They don't want to fresh it though.
They're standing off this, the sweepers. They might get lucky and get the skinny double, and they have. I don't think that was the shot that was called, David, so
it certainly wasn't.
They get away with one there, and it's a pretty handy time to get a shot like that anyway.
You'll take it, and the blank is certainly the favourite now.
Yeah, stroke a lot there, and you say the blank's the favourite, but Grant really has to stick his shooter on this shot, doesn't he, or it gives Hess a free draw around that centre guard, so Yeah, he plays that perfectly. There's still the guard there, so we might see a mistake yet and something happen. But it's quite long, there's quite a bit of room between it and the stone in the house, so you wouldn't expect any mistakes.
You wouldn't. It wouldn't be the first time I've said that though, and one appears from nowhere.
I thought if I might say that, I might get the commentator's curse and see them miss. So
just make it a bit more interesting.
Time will tell.
I just did that while you were away on the 3-4 game. It's a shot for a 4 he had and jammed it for a steal of a 1. Bit of a whoops.
That's a big swing in that game then, isn't it, David? Going from a potential 4 to losing a 1. So.
Yeah, I mean it could have been 7-3 up and now he's 4-3 down.
Yeah, it's a bitter pill to swallow, but there you go. The big crowd here now watching at Dumfries, isn't it? It's good to see people here watching the game.
Yeah, and there was talk of some juniors coming in, but I'm not seeing too many yet. But I think there's a junior Christmas cracker on.
Later on this afternoon, yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
It's for all ages, I think, David, is it not, the Christmas cracker?
Is it? I'm not sure. You'll probably guess by that I'm not playing anyway.
Yeah.
So.
Bit of a Scrooge, David, are you, when it comes to Christmas?
Yes. Yeah, that's. I think I'm on borrowed time away from the kids this weekend already, so that's not better.
It's quite a time commitment, isn't it? You've put a lot of hours in here setting this whole thing up. I just come in when the games are on.
Swan in.
Yep.
It's not too bad. It's kind of set up now. We've got 2 new cameras to go in, so they'll hopefully improve things. We'll just run out of time this weekend to get them up and running, but we should end up with kind of overhead cameras. That are capable of looking right down the whole sheet as well, so
good.
They should be good. Better picture quality as well.
So here's Bruce with his first stone. Sweepers seem relatively happy. They're sweeping for the curl mine. They're indicating it was up weight. So is he going to stick around with this? I don't know if he is, David. Well, we said all it took was one mistake. Now if Hayes can swing this round, top 4 fully buried, they could have force Moat here to take his 1.
Yep, called it right. One mistake. So for those that haven't been about for the last couple of years about brush technology, you're going to explain sweeping for the swing as opposed to sweeping to stop the swing.
Well, very limited knowledge on the matter, but the way I understand it is, although fabric has changed this year, so it's really annihilating as much of the force that we're having in the past few years, but you're putting the most pressure when you're brushing away from yourself, so you're trying to make light scores in the ice on the top to maybe push the stone out, I think. I'm really not explaining this very well, but I think it's something along them lines.
That sounds about right. I think it's fair to say after about 150 years and several universities looking at it, they still don't really know. So,
if anyone's really that interested, if they go in the curling zone, there's a forum on there, and there's about 50 pages with sweeping technique and all the sciences behind it. So, you set a few hours out and read that.
Well, that's not a bad shot, is it?
It's pretty good.
One of them that's almost worth a go at picking it and seeing if you make it. Playing back ring weight, back 8 maybe?
Yeah, I think he's just trying to move this back 4 and sit shot. There's no chance of the blank now. They're standing off it again, David, and they're saying the weight's up, but there we have my sweeping for the curl again, so you can see he's sweeping on the inside of the stone. Yeah, but he's fine. I said there's no chance of the blank, but no, there's not. So there you go, Bruce Mount rank 4th to their single.
So the state of the 3-4 game. So Schneider Rink having a chance before the last end. Are going to need last stone in this end. We're certainly on skip stones.
Yeah, and they're in a wee bit of a mess, but all the stones are in the house, David, and they're quite closely grouped together. There's almost a chance of a triple here, do you think?
It's not far away actually, is it?
Don't know if you get enough momentum to push that, punch that blue on the left there across out the house, but you certainly get all moving. Whether it'll go out the house or not might be another matter. The stone's on its way, so we'll find out in a minute. It's certainly not going to be short of weight. Well, he's got a double on the top too, so he'll be reasonably happy with that. That was a good shot there, David. You seen they managed to remove that yellow and lie two, so
draw for a one.
Yeah, he's forced here to draw for his single. The last thing they'll be wanting is an extra end if they've got a flight to catch, David.
Yeah, I thought somebody said they were heading on a bus with an ice hockey team about an hour ago, but that must have been another team.
I think that was another team, yep. So.
Stones in play in our feature game again at the moment. One less than there maybe should be.
Well, that one's very heavy, isn't it? Right to think the teams have got their draw weight by this stage of the game.
Commentator's curse.
And here's, is this draw heavy for two? It is. So there's a steal of two out of nowhere, really. Oh, the 8 foot to draw to. All of a sudden they find themselves 3 shots down.
That might be just about enough to go and catch a flight.
Yeah, I think they've got one eye on the ice and one eye on the bus timetable going by that shot, David.
Yeah, definitely.
So back to the feature game. That heavy draw by Hess gives Bruce Mowat the chance to come right round these 2 yellows here. Put the Hess rink in a whole heap of trouble. Slips back tee, but it's doing its job there, David, isn't it? Hess skips straight out to look to try and clear some of these guards off, try and open the scoring area up a bit for them.
Yeah, they're just in danger of getting bogged down a bit here, aren't they?
We watched the semi-final this morning, didn't we, with Bruce Mowat, we commentated on it, and they didn't put a lot of pressure on their opposition, even though they did run out winners till the second half of the game. But here they're getting their shots in and putting pressure on this Hess rink and asking the question of them.
As I say before, it doesn't take a lot to overthrow some of these stones either. They'll try to shift 2 or 3.
Yeah, they never played a lot of weight at that. They're obviously looking to make the corner guard off it.
Yeah, and they've actually got quite a nice setup there. So Mount will just have to be a wee bit careful that they don't leave a hit and roll in behind the guards now.
Yeah, they've got the 2 corner guards there, but there is 2 yellows in play and a chance for Bruce to guard them. Just keep an eye on them 2 blues, so they might come into play later on in the end, like you say. It just takes one missed guard and leave a hit and roll behind it, and this guard's actually over curling a bit. Still done enough though. Does leave a good angle to run it in, try and lift one of them yellows on the way. That's really what you're wanting to do, isn't it?
I'm a wee bit surprised, having done that, they haven't taken the opportunity to hit and run in behind the corner just at hack weight.
Do see half of it, David, don't you? And sometimes when you see the shots thrown in the house, you've got to take it when it's there, because if you don't this time, then next time the guard's better and you can't see any of it for that shot. Anyway, he's got an angle to run someone into the house, and there you have it. He's picked the one off the top of the house, and it's a good shot. Left the shooter as a guard, but I don't think he'll be too worried about that. He's probably still thinking he can get 2 out of this end.
Yeah, it's not a bad setup now with the yellows, but again, Bruce has got a chance to get top 4 first.
Yeah, neither team are panicking just yet, are they?
Quiet confidence.
So this one's got to curl a bit.
A slight technical issue of a flood in the commentary box.
Yeah, so when we've been away, this end seems to have changed a fair bit. So I've got 2 centre guards and 1 yellow back 4. So Hess is just going to try and come round live shot in the top 4 behind the staggered guards. So It's not really what you want to be doing when you've got hammered, David, is it? But he's got no option really here now.
No, he's got to get in there first, isn't he?
He's committed really to go for his 2 now, so this is the only way he can see you doing it.
Yeah, and if Bruce Mount can force this, I don't think he'll want to see a lot of stones in play the next end.
If he can get this past David and drag it back. Oh, it's just caught the guard there, so. It does lie second shot, but it's fully open, David, so. Well, they're talking about coming round it and into the forefoot with another one. What's your thoughts on that call?
I'm thinking I'd be quite happy to force the 1 here.
It's tempting to chip that blue they've just thrown, but the problem is you can't hit it on the nose because you jam it on the yellow. And if you roll away, you really give them a free draw around the staggered guards again, don't you? So
yeah, exactly.
That's
so
why they're looking to come round it, really, isn't it?
I think I'd still be tempted to move the blue 3/4 if you can see 3/4, or you play the guard. But yeah, just how tight the game is, I think you'd be looking to move the blue.
Yeah, I don't like the guard myself because, well, they're forward at the guard. But if they ever ran that blue in on the left hand side, you could lie too, guarded.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it gives him a shot. However difficult, it's a shot for a 2.
Yeah, there's a blue either side, so there's going to be one of them available.
He's going for the blue, isn't it? He's going for the guard, sorry. Yeah, I'm a bit surprised by that. Maybe you just can't see very much of this blue, but it certainly looks like you can see at least half stone. We'll see where it ends up. So what's the upside of the guard here?
Well, obviously you put the guard on, it's forcing your opposition to make a very difficult shot. I mean, there still will be room to come round the guard and everything. If there's not, you could potentially run one of them blues in and sit 2. Got to cover that blue to not leave the run back, and that's not curled enough, David. For me, it's left a port. Can he come through there to the nose of the one he's just thrown? Maybe it's just curled enough at the end because they're not looking at that.
Yeah, I just wonder if the camera angle's maybe showing that as more available than it is. But
yeah, because Bruce didn't look to shift that blue either, did he? So maybe there's not enough to get to it.
But using the centre line as a guide,
yeah, looks to me there's a road through there. You can get through to the nose of that blue, you run it straight back and you maybe only lie 1, but you'll be a good one. I think that's what they're looking at there now. You could of course run one of these outside blues in, but it's just so much tougher, isn't it, when they're at an angle like that. Hard to judge.
Yeah. There's certainly not many nice options available. I don't think there's a draw on the other handle. I think that port's just too... I think there is a bit of a swing on that side, so...
Yeah, there's not enough room, is there, between the blue on the right hand side there and the yellow. So it looks to me like we're coming through that port at hack weight.
And it'll need to be tight to the centre line guard.
Like you say, I think the camera angle must be slightly deceiving because it looks like it's there to lie 2 to me, but with the amount of ice they're taking, do you think they're playing enough weight to shift that back yellow? I don't think they are.
I don't think they are, no. I think they're almost playing a tap, aren't they? So the camera angle might be deceiving, but the centre line, the stones both look like they're touching the centre line.
Yeah. So it's on its way.
If I looked out the window, I'm even more convinced that shot's on.
Skips first stone here. Sweeping it for weight, I think. Line looks good.
So he's got the weight, has he?
The line was perfect. Has he got the weight? No, it was just needing a bit more running on it, wasn't it, David?
But that's a bit more dangerous now, because any hit weight with any stone that then lands on that front blue's automatically taking the back yellow.
Yeah, it'd be nice if Grant would just move his head, wouldn't it? So we could just see the angles to confirm that, but I think you're right.
I think we need a bit of talk back on some radios in here. Shift.
There you see it. That, well,
it maybe pushes by the side actually, doesn't it?
It maybe does.
But he's got a free run at either of the corner ones for a 3.
That would be for 3. So really, I think Bruce is looking to put another one in here, isn't he, and lie 2. And then he's making him play an angled run double for his 3.
But risk and reward, it's all of a sudden for a 3, not a 2, and yeah, worth the bash at. I need him to move out of the way, but I'm just wondering if he could actually, yeah, I think he could. He could play down the right hand side, and if he does feather the yellow guard, he runs in, his shooter runs in behind the corner anyway, and he just takes the angles off the blues as well. There you go, demonstrated nicely there.
So we said on the last stone we didn't think that draw was there, but we're going to be proven wrong by Bruce here, hopefully. If he can get one wrapped round here. And that's the one we're looking for. Will of course be a blue stone, that's a yellow arrow. No, sorry, it's a yellow stone. My apologies, David. Where would that stone finish up exactly?
I think somewhere about there. Somewhat smaller.
So there we have it. So let's see if there's room to get through there.
We'll put the circle on and we can see how close we end up to.
So there's your guide, Bruce. Anywhere in that circle.
That massive circle.
Sweepers are on and off it. They must be relatively happy. It's quite a high line, though, I would suggest. Yeah, they're sweeping it now to see if they can get it to curl at the finish. So what they can't do is leave a double out there. And
it's a pretty nice result.
Well, David, you say that, but is there a chance of
a
a double there?
Yeah, you're right.
I think there maybe is. They lie too, but if he could ever get down there, yeah, and hit what he can see, both them yellows could go.
I'm not sure his shooter sticks. That would be the only thing. But
yeah, I think they'd be happy if they could even just get their 2 here. I think they lie 2 at the top of the house.
I think it might jam.
I think you're right. I don't think they can just get enough to get the double.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think you'd almost have to launch it across the top, which is incredibly thin.
Yeah, having seen that now there, that double doesn't really look on, does it?
Just got enough finish. The only way of lifting the double, I think, is using the corner blue.
Yeah, and if you miss that shot, David, it's almost game over, isn't it?
Yeah,
you can easily lose a steal of 2 and you're 5-2 down with 2 ends to go. Against a team of this calibre, really, that's a mountain to climb. I mean, they're in a whole heap of trouble here, the Hessring, aren't they?
Well, they are looking at
this.
They're
looking at the run.
As much as a chance to lose the game, taking a 3 here would be fairly handy, to put it mildly.
Well, he's made his mind up, and we are going to see him try and run this blue back into the house. If he can ever get onto that yellow, dispatch the 2 yellows, they will lie 3.
Sounds like he's got the crowd talking anyway.
Yeah, the crowd always like shots like these, David, don't they?
So we're looking just high of nose. 2/3 stone, something like that. It's a fairly narrow target with the 2 yellows sitting in line to the one he's trying to hit.
Yeah, that's right, they're dead in line, aren't they? But it's on his way here, David, the final stone.
Oh, Vice likes it.
Sweeper's on it hard though.
Vice likes
Think
it.
it's over curling. Can he hold it?
Oh, they
Runs
like
it in. They're getting some. Oh, just by the edge. It was a good effort, but Bruce has inevitably stole 2 there, and that's a big lead now.
That's going to take a bit of coming back for him. I think we've got a result on sheet C. I'm not sure what the result is, but I'm not sure there's anybody left playing out there. So
Yeah, the Kraus rink were 6-3 up after 7 ends, David, so we assume they've went on to win that game if they in fact didn't shake after 7 ends. So say that's the Kraus rink that's went on to win that game, so they'll finish up 3rd. Schneider taking 4th place.
yeah, £1,200 better off for finishing 3rd.
So there you see Hammy McMillan into the house with his first stone. Probably would have liked it on the 4 foot, but still useful there. And the Hess rink, no hesitation to put up a corner guard. Just looking to come round this now into the 4 foot. He's not wanting too many guards in play now. You're 3 up. Want to keep the play in the house. Sure, we'll see the Hess rank ignore these 2 stones in the house and probably throw another corner guard up.
I think they need to now, don't they?
Yeah, it's a wee bit heavy there from Hammy, but still it's in the house and it's counting. So Hess deciding to come round that corner. I'm surprised we're not getting a double corner guard here. He's choosing to come in, so
I suppose he knows he's going to have to steal at some point probably now, so maybe just thinking make sure if we're 2 here, and
yeah,
we only need the 1 corner for a 2 obviously. So we saw it in the semi-final though, when trying to defend against a 2 and then they gave up a 3.
yeah, exactly.
So
You never know what's going to happen, do you? He's executed this draw well. So here you go, I'm sure we'll see Bruce out to that corner guard and get it peeled off. You ever try and run it into the house and take someone out in the house as well, David? And I think he's just going for the straight peel.
Yeah, I don't think they have to just now.
Don't want to jam it in, do you?
No.
You don't want to play the opposition shots for them, not when you're 3 up. Are they chasing after the one in the house?
I think they might be, yeah, and again 3 up, why not?
With that back one, he's probably not too worried about that.
Be quite happy to see that disappear, I would think. And I think this is where we see 2 corner guards might have been a better idea.
They're such big hitters, aren't they? Bobby Lammy and Grant Hardy can both throw the high hard ones, so the problem is if you don't have guards out front, the doubles in the house are too easy for these boys. So another good shot here.
Going for the guard this time. Presumably mainly because it landed back tee, or it's slightly more hidden, one of the two. It's just easier for these guys, isn't it?
Yeah, so we'll see Hess put that guard back on for a few stones, but
Slightly too long.
well, it is a long guard, but they're not. Bruce is not wanting to faff about going after the one in the house, so straight out and take the guard off. Probably could have got round to the shot stone if he wanted, but there's not really any need to, is there, when you're 3 up?
No, keep it easy and just keep peeling them off. Shooter runs out as well.
Get nearer the finish at the end though, David. I don't think you want to be leaving the guards that long, do you? Or you'll probably find the Bruce's team would chase after the one in the house, so probably want this one a wee bit tighter.
Yeah, almost take the opportunity to force a 1 at that stage as well, and it'll be hugely difficult to come back from at that stage. Trying to steal a 2 to stay in the game would be...
I can't think this team have gave up many steals of 2 this season.
No. Persevering with that same length, but as you say, probably not too much of a problem just now.
Well, you said that. They're coming back to look at the one in the house, and that was a danger when you left it as long as this. Can you get hidden behind that guard now? Yeah, so chasing after the one in the house here. Just could have done with that guard a bit tighter up. Stop this happening. Just here's by the guard, but does the opportunity now. Hess can come round this guard, but the problem is the guard's so long, it's hard to get buried in a place where they can't chase after you and chip you out.
Yeah, exactly, and that I think that was always the problem with that long guard. And I think it was deliberately long. I mean, they placed it in the same place 3 times, so.
Which is fine at the start of the end, but when you can includes the end, you really need to get them a bit tighter. Inevitably the team are going to go after the shot in the house at some time. So here we go, see if they can draw around it. If anything, this could overcurl out the other side, David. I think it's just done just that. In fact, is it stopping? Oh, that's a big miss. That's effectively this end over for Team Hess, isn't it?
Yep, they're going for a blank at best now. And given there's only skip stones to come,
yeah, I think we'll see him try and wrap round the. Well, obviously we've seen Bruce peel this corner guard, but the Hess rank are then going to draw round that yellow. So
I just wondered if Bruce might have gone round that yellow
exactly
first.
Beat him to it, because I think that's what we'll see the Hess rank do. They'll come round there, try and sit on the tee line behind that yellow. Well, of course, leave Bruce the double, but he's got to make it. Yeah, like you say, they could have called to come in the house here.
I think it just acts as a force the one as well, rather than give the Hess rank the blank.
Well, that's actually a bit of a result for him. I don't think he'll be too worried about that.
It does it. It's not the worst case scenario, is it? By hook or by crook we got there.
Yeah, because I feel that guard was just too long, too much good to them anyway, so coming round that yellow in the house was probably the only way of scoring two in this end. Now that yellow's gone.
Yeah, I think your only chance here is to almost overbury behind this guard and hope there's a wee straight run on the ice somewhere.
You have to force him on the other hand, don't you, with his hit. But anyway, he can't miss. We've just seen that there.
Yeah, true.
So put the stone in, make them play the shot.
Past it. How's the weight?
Yeah, it's just over curling again. Is it heavy again? I think it is. Well, does Bruce fancy coming round that guard?
Does anybody want to score this end?
So if he can get round here, he could be forcing his one. Forcing Hess to take his one. I think you have to try it, David, don't you? It's a free shot. I think they're just discussing.
Me as well. There's no downside to.
Well,
he's going top four. I think, to be fair, they'd be quite happy if he blanks as well. They're not going to give up a three in the last. So.
Well,
Stroke
you heard it here first. Just watch this space.
We all like a jinx, don't we?
Yeah, I mean, I can't see Hess taking their single here, David. Surely they'll blank this end.
Yeah, it's at least you've got some control over the last end then. Well, we have seen Mount lose a three this weekend, so they lost one in the semi-final, which we called from end one, I think.
That's right, against Team Kraus, who also took 2 threes off from the group stages. It is possible, but generally up the last end you need something to go majorly wrong to lose a three. It generally happens earlier on in the game when you're calling a more aggressive game, doesn't it?
When you're gambling.
This stage of the game it's a lot more defensive style of play. So
would you go for the one here or would you blank?
I think personally I would go for the blank, really. Stealing a two is a big ask. You need mistakes either way, really, if you're going to score a three or steal a two, but blank the end here, throw up 2 corner guards and see what happens.
Yeah, I think we'll definitely see 2 corner guards anyway. The last stone of the 7th end.
Done his way and they seem quite happy with it.
Yeah, it's on the nose.
Decided to take their one, so there you go. Bruce Mow at rank 2 up with hammer on the last.
Heavy favourites. If it wasn't for us jinxing them. It's where the lead becomes absolutely the most important player in the rink.
Oh yeah, definitely. So they'll need 2 centre guards here, dead in line on that centre line with plenty separation, David.
What do you do if you Bruce Mow here then? So Hess is going to throw up a centre guard. You go with the tick, or do you go top 4?
I think, David, they'll try the tick, to be honest. Both fine if you make it. The problem with the tick is you can end up leaving quite a lot of clutter about if it's not made. If you draw too much, you can always run the risk of tapping their stone back a bit and leaving another centre guard. But I just feel with the experience of Hammy McMillan, he's well capable of making these tick shots, and they'll have practiced the tick shots as well. So it's a shot they practice a lot, and I fully expect them to try it, but might be proven wrong. Problem with coming top 4 is it can always be nudged back and just used. You really don't want stones in the house. But
I have to admit, I'd favour the tick shot here with a 2-shot lead in last stone. I think it's worth a go because you can simplify the end a whole heap.
Yeah, definitely.
Even playing a tick shot maybe slightly more weight than you normally would, just to make sure either your shooter runs or the stone gets replaced. You make sure there's not 2 stones hanging about.
Anyway, this guard's got to be made first, and they're calling it long, and that's, I think, just to make the tick harder. So if you put your first guard close to the house, the opposition can just tick it into the house, and then it can get removed with your second shot. So you really need your first guard just up close to the hog line like that. That makes the tick as hard as possible. So let me see what they're going to try here.
Yeah, I think it was the tick.
Yep, so they've called the tick, so let's see. So of course, for those listening who don't know, that stone cannot be removed from play. So Bruce Mount is looking to move it a bit just to open it up the 4 foot, but he can't remove that blue stone out of play. So he's just looking to get an edge of it and move it over. That opens the scoring area up for him.
I think they like it.
So he's getting it quite full. So let's see how far it's going to put it. You can see the Hess rink sweeping that stone. They want it out of play because then it gets replaced for them, and that's what's happened. So it's a missed shot, but
I don't mind that though, because the shooter's gone.
You're better missing them that way than nosing them back in. So
exactly. So they'll swing one round.
But anyway, that's probably as good as what the Hess rink could expect at this stage in the end. They've had a miss here, so that's what they're needing if they're going to steal 2.
So they'll come round this guard and put another guard in.
Yeah, so
just above the Hardy logo. Something like that.
Exactly.
On the Hardy logo.
Just like we're saying, David, you need these dead in line, or they'll try and give them as little a chance as possible as removing these 2 guards later on. So now, what do you think we'll see Hammy try that tick shot again, David?
I think so. I think so. He might try and tick the closer onto the house though.
Doesn't look like it's going to be fully buried anyway, does it? In fact,
he's going to hit the one in the house.
That's criminal, and it is in the house. So can they get round to chip that? Oh, they can. That's a bad mistake there. Are they going for the tick mine? I think they might be going for the one in the house, but he's saying if you catch the guard, that's
exactly.
fine.
Play it down weight, so if you catch the guard, it's fine.
You like it when your skip says to you that if you catch the guard, it's fine.
Happy days. That brush thing's just a guide.
Margin for error here, so.
Normally what the skip says at this point is don't be wide.
Yeah.
Just to get that little doubt of
if you don't know that as a player, just to reinforce that. But there you go, that slipper in the house is a wee bit of an error there, so
it's quite a big error in the context of the scoreline in this end.
Yep. So they're playing the tick by the looks of things. Well, that's neither one or the other, is it, David? He didn't play the tick and he didn't move the one in the house.
Didn't really have the weight.
No, it was down in weight. Yeah, even if that got by, David, it wasn't pushing that blue right through, was it? So So there we go. We said that we would need a miss if they were going to steal 2, and they've really had 2 misses now. So
I have to admit,
you want these misses later on in the end, right enough, but it still gives you some hope.
I might have put another guard up here.
What did they call right round?
I'm just looking at the ice and thinking that's what they've called, but the problem is a guard in between these 2 shots, and it kind of makes the doubles easier.
Yeah, it made it double peel. So I think you put this one in the house, and no matter where it is, Bruce Mount is going up to that top guard and peeling it. So
yeah, so this is your chance to get your first one on the button.
So you want that good.
There's room to get another one on top, which is also important. So
run this guard. Can he lift another one on the way past? That's ideally what he'd want to do. There is the angle there to do that, David.
Could get all 3 if he gets the right angle, but
we're getting ambitious now. But I think if he gets 2, he'll be happy.
I think he'll just look for the single, to be honest, won't he? There's no
he
real
did
need.
indicate he might try the run.
Okay.
Lift the one off the top of the house, but I might be wrong. Yeah, I think that's what they're going for, but
don't want to jam. That's the only downside. But good peel.
So there we go. We'll see that guard replaced, and again, it's crucial that they get a separation on these guards.
Yeah, about halfway the 3 guard zone.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
The guard zone as it is now. Okay, not a terrible setup for the Hess rink, but still very much fighting against it.
Yeah, they're hanging on. They'll have some hope with the way the end's coming. It's a very long guard, David, but I still think we'll see it peeled. So again, I think he looks to try and drive it back and lift the blue on the top of the house as well. The shooter's naturally going to roll out of play. Well, jammed it in the house, and that one rolled out, which was lucky in a sense, but
shouldn't matter.
Yeah, but still took away that stone at the back of the house. So that was Line's second shot before that shot. So we're seeing a couple of misses here.
Still just one big double needed, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
Got to be over as well. It's got to be over.
Oh, and it's not. Well, that could be the game right there, David, with that.
I would say so.
That's unfortunate. The Hess rink were starting to put a wee bit of pressure on Grant there, on Bruce Mount there, sorry. So
yeah, it's all just evaporated the pressure now, really, hasn't it? That's,
definitely.
There's not even a double required now, it's just 1-for-1 trading. Slight error there.
I think they'll try and put the guard back on still here and hope for a nose. I think that last shot, Bruce would rather have seen the shooter roll out of play there, David.
Definitely.
I think they tried for the run and they got neither. They didn't get the run and they didn't run the shooter out of play either. So has left stones in play. Hess rank could come round that later on, and they may lie there too, make Bruce play a shot for the game. That's all they can really do, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. Just make sure they're lying the 2 as you say.
Exactly. They'll persevere with this guard for a while. Eventually they're going to have to come round that yellow that's in the house, and they'll lie 2 in the 4-foot. So this is Grant's last stone at the end. Is he going for the straight peel, David, or is he trying to get something moving in the house as well?
I think it was just a straight peel this time.
Yeah. So when do you think they'll make a play in the house, David? To come now?
I think you put up another guard.
Well, I think they have to go for the guard, but they're indicating to come round. Problem is, if they go for the guard, Bruce will go after that one in the house.
In the house. Yeah,
so
true.
if they're going for the guard, they have to guard the shot in the house, really.
Could you corner freeze the yellow to guard the blue? Not quite sure where that yellow is.
I think if you try and do that, David, you just leave the double for Bruce, and then it's going to give him a nose hit.
Yeah.
Clear everything out the front of the house, and
Yeah,
they'll have a nose hit for the win. So
there's not much nice for them here, is there?
I think you have to
come round that.
Yeah, if he draws to where his brush is.
Yeah, Bruce will try and play the run back with his first stone.
Yeah, and you hope he misses it, and then you fling another one top 12 and say, there you go. If you want to win this game, you're going to have to draw the 4 foot.
Yeah. So decision made.
Here we go. He really needs to be half round that yellow, doesn't he, David? If he's open, then Bruce is just going to go after the shot here, and they don't like this. Well, did they call the guard?
I don't think they did at the end.
But it's second best option, isn't it? So
that's not bad. That's not bad at all.
That was the error anyway. You couldn't be heavy there, so it does leave the double peel on these guards, really. So makes a double peel here. He's going to have an open hit for the game.
Yep, exactly that. Take the double peel out, because that's the one that's going to get you in trouble, is the guard. So, you know, if you take this off, they're going to have to come into the house with their next shot. A few people might be wondering why they don't just run the yellow back, but that's essentially the reason for it.
Yeah, you don't want any clutter out front, do you? So here we go. The stone's on its way and they're happy with it. Well, they're only getting the one, so maybe that was just the plan. Didn't want to get over fancy, but Hess come half round this yellow now. Bruce is still going to have the whole of the white area to draw. So
the best you can really do now is top of the 4 foot bang on the centre line, isn't it? And show kind of half stone, half stone.
I think, like you say, right, with that centre line splitting it, maybe we could get a wee graphic up where he's to put it.
Try and make it a bit bigger than that. Somewhere about there.
Yeah, I think about there. I think you'd like it if his stone was as small as that as well, David.
I think you would. I don't know what's going on with that today. Normally at that size they're covering half the rings.
So he's quite high here, and that's not what he wanted, because that just leaves the whole of the stone on view for Bruce to hit.
So you've got to freeze it now.
Yeah, but it's a bit of a mistake there again, really. So making Bruce play his last shot, but he'll be quite happy to have this. So he's got an open hit to win it here. Makes this, he's a Dumfries champion, following the footsteps of Kyle Smith, who won it last year.
Yeah, doesn't he have to stick about, does he, as long as one of them goes?
Yeah.
£2,000 shot, this one.
Yep, and it's on its way, last stone here.
It's good. Grant's quite comfortable. Takes the one out.
That's how you do it. And the steal of 1, but Bruce wins it 5-4.
It's well played to Bruce Mowat. Commiserations to the Hess rink. Still come second though. And that concludes our coverage. So thank you very much for doing a few games for us, David, this time.
Yeah, no problem. Hope people have enjoyed listening. If not, you can turn the volume down next time.
That's the way to do it. I suspect we may be back for the seniors in January and then certainly the mixed doubles in March. So we'll hopefully see you then.
Right, bye.